This video is going to be talking about using a renaming board to simplify fractions. So now we're going to start simplifying them. It means we're going to have a bigger fraction and we're going to reduce it down to its most simplest form. So a little review. How do you rename a fraction when going from lower terms to higher terms? You use an equivalent fraction table, or EFT. And so what do you think we're going to do in order to take a fraction from its highest terms to its lowest terms? Well, we're going to use what's called a renaming board. Let's take a look at that. So Mitchell has 8 pieces of gum in his pocket. 4 of the pieces are grape flavored. Rename the fraction 4/8 in its lowest terms. So I've got 4/8. So to do this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these dots. I'm going to make 4/8. 1, 2, 3, 4 on top, and I'm going to make 8 on bottom. Six, 7, 8. And now the question is, how can I regroup that? Or what's the largest groups that I can make? Should I make groups of 8? Can I make a group of 8? Now the rule is, whatever I do on top, I have to do on bottom. Whatever I do on bottom, I have to do on top. So everything has to be the same. So if I make groups of 8 on bottom, can I make groups of 8 on top? Of course not, because there's only 4 there. So let's start with 4. Can I make a group of 4 on top? Yes, because there's 4. Can I make a group of 4 on bottom? In fact, I can make 2 of them. So how many groups of 4 did I make on top? I made 1 group of 4. How many groups of 4 did I make on bottom? I made 2 groups of 4. So our equivalent fraction, or 4/8 written in its simplest form, is 1/2. Let's take a look at another one. Now we've got Melanie. She has 8 pieces of candy. 6 of the pieces are fruit chews. Rename 6/8 into its lowest terms. Now I'm not going to do the dots because that requires a lot of dragging. Instead, I'm going to do just making dots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, a little trickier this time. Again, I want to make the biggest group that I can, or a group of the most that I can. So can I make a group of 8 on top? No, I can't, because I only have 6. Okay, can I make a group of 6 on bottom? I could, but this time, if I was to make a group of 6 on bottom, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on bottom, I would have 2 that are not in a group, and I can't have that. Everything has to be even. Looking for undo. There it is. Everything has to be even. So, gosh, okay, let's start thinking here. What could I make that's even with 6 and 8? I know just right off the bat 2. I know for sure 2. So if I make groups of 2, it's 3 groups of 2 on top and 4 groups of 2 on bottom. I've got 3 and 4. That's going to be my lowest terms, is 3/4, because 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. There's not a group I can make with that besides 1. If 1 is the only thing you can do, then it's in its simplest form. It's in what we call its lowest form. So it's 3/4. All right, 2/3. Is it in its lowest terms? 1, 2, 2, 3. Can I make groups of 2 on bottom? I could, but then 1's left out. Only thing I can do is make groups of 1. Well, if all I can do is make groups of 1, then 2/3 is in fact in its lowest term. So putting it into a problem here. Mrs. Ortiz popped off different flavors of popcorn for movie nights. She popped 3 cups of caramel, 4 cups of white cheddar, 5 cups of butter. What fraction of the popcorn mixture was caramel? Let's see. Fraction caramel. I'm just gonna write it down here. So caramel was 3 cups. White cheddar was 4 cups. And buttered was 5 cups. So total, let's see, that would be 9, 10, 11, 12 cups of popcorn. Okay, so what fraction was caramel? Caramel we said was 3, part over total. But is that in its lowest terms? Notice 3/12 isn't an option. So that's 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I always like to group my denominator by the same way that I group my numerator, just in case it works out that way. In this case, it actually does. So I'm looking at groups of 3. Can I make groups of 3? In fact, I can. I've got one group of 3 on bottom and 1, 2, 3, 4 groups of 3 on... I'm sorry, I got one group of 3 on top and 4 groups of 3 on bottom. So my answer here is D, 1/4 of the mixture. Last problem. Which pair of fractions are equivalent? 6/8 and 9/12. Okay, so here I could take my biggest fraction and make an EFT, or take my biggest fraction and reduce it. I could reduce both of them, or rather simplify both of them. What's the best way to do this? Honestly, I think the best way to do this is to simplify both, since this is a simplifying video. So let's take that. 6/8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's simplify that. Groups of 2. Okay, so 6/8 is 3/4. Let's cheat a little bit, see if there's any more 6/8. No, there's not. Okay. 9/12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, groups of 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3/4. Hey, guess what? That equals 3/4. Because as a video, I'm going to stop there. If I was doing this on an actual test, I'd get nervous because my first answer was correct, and I'd want to go verify the other ones. So, our answer is A. That is simplifying fractions using a renaming board. Go ahead and write any questions that you might have on your WISC and bring them up. I would be happy to try and answer them.